Did Fender get the neck pickup wrong in the Tele? Today, we're going to find out. Welcome everybody to Guitar Tone Central. Today we're going to talk about the Telecaster set of pickups and what you usually are used to seeing in the neck position. Before we get into the details of this though, I want to thank everybody for being here, for coming and watching our channel. We really appreciate your viewership, and we'd also appreciate if you'd click down below on the share and the like buttons. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click on subscribe, and there's a little notification bell that'll make sure you get the latest updates on every video that we do. So let's talk about Telecaster pickups. We've got what we normally are going to talk about here on the show, typically our American wound pickups. These are Fender USA pickups that our special guest, Bo Bice, is holding. How you doing, Bo?
I'm doing great. Man, that was a mouthful right there,
yeah.
Mark. I'm out of breath just watching you.
I ramble a little, but...
No, it's good to be here. It's always nice to get to join you here at Somnium. You guys are great, and you are doing a great job by testing tone here. So.
Well, what we want to do is give you folks a chance to experience these tones, things that you might not normally hear, and see if that's something you might want to put in one of your guitars. And there's a lot of smaller pickup companies in America, many different smaller pickup makers that have amazing products, and we'd like to bring them to you. So what we're talking about here, though, what we're going to start out is we're going to play for you the standard set of Fender pickups. This is a Fender Vintage 58 in the bridge and a Vintage 52 in the neck. So this is a, typical setup. Now, if we're going to go exploring tones, I can't go exploring without my exploration hat. We're going to search. We're going to search for some tonal gold over here, not just because the guitar is gold. So yeah, let's explore, find some treasure in these strings. So let's take a listen to the bridge pickup, the Vintage 58. Very smooth and mellow. Let's see what's the difference. Let's hit it with the neck pickup. Now, to me, that sounded like we just kind of took a step back. Just a more relaxing,
a little more mellow,
more mellow tone, which the whole point of the neck pickup is to give you a little more bottom end too, but that also, it was just not just bottom end, it just had a more mellow feel to it. Now, what if we had the bridge pickup in the neck, right? You thinking, you have a Tele at home, right?
I do. I actually have like 2 or 3 of them, so with different feels.
Could you put switch the bridge in the neck pickups?
Well, that's part of the reason that I have 3 Teles, is because each one does something different for me. The one that is a standard setup Tele like this does something totally different than my Nashville Tele. And then I have one that so you're looking at 3 guitars, because I have to have one that has set up in the bridge and then a humbucker in the neck. So right. But I have to have the 3 of them, and I love each one. But being a more of a rocking guy, that's not the setup that I use except for recording.
A standard Tele setup like this, right? Well, we thought, what would it be like if we could take the bridge pickup and put it in the neck? Right? Something you just don't see on a Tele ever. You've never bought one or seen one in a store like that. So let's go ahead. Take the bridge pickup out.
All right.
Because what we're going to do, and you can tell this is not scripted, we're just winging it.
We're having fun.
Yeah, so go ahead and leave that there.
All right.
All right, so go ahead and let's play the neck pickup. So you've already got, put it in the neck position. So now, folks, what we're going to do is Bo's going to play the same chords through the neck pickup. We're going to get that nice laid back sound. As soon as he's done, he's going to swap it for the bridge pickup and play the same chords. And we're just going to listen along. All right, go ahead. right, so I saw a little grin come on your face. What were you thinking when you, because he hasn't played this yet, that combination.
No.
What were you thinking? What came into your mind when you first heard that?
Well, number one, just the warmth, a lot more body. So I love that sound, that particular sound when I want that telly sound. But I've never heard this combination in the bridge before. So it's not something when you hear something new. It's not you. I guess you do. You kind of like So
Well, it's to me it was more in your face. You're
more
right. It
bold.
had the warmth, but it jumped out at me where the regular telly pickup, the really regular telly neck, you're just going to kick back with a cappuccino and a cigar, and you're just going to relax, or a brandy and a cigar, and you're going to enjoy some blues or some R&B. It's just more in your face.
Right.
Which for some songs, you're right, that might not be the right thing. But if I want more boldness, more in your face, then that would be a good idea. So I'm thinking, why don't we try the guitar with two bridge pickups in it? So I wanted to tell you folks, this is one of the American companies that we want to feature here on the show. This is from Wild Pickups. Okay, it's spelled Wilde. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
I've not heard of them. So you're introducing me to something new here.
Right. These pickups are actually, Bill Lawrence is the artist behind Wild Pickups. There's a long history of this. He was born in 1931. He's actually a German guy. That's why he came over from Germany, but settled in America, and in the 50s and 60s was a guitar player, playing the club scene, that kind of thing, and he got pretty well known. And in fact, Gibson, I think in the 80s, Gibson hired him to design their L6 model guitar. He designed a bass for Gibson. Fender hired him for that kind of work because he actually not didn't just play, he wound pickups. And he came up with some very, really cool sounding pickups. And so his expertise in that was there was a lot of depth to that. And there's a lot more to the story between Bill Lawrence and while there is a Bill Lawrence USA Pickups website, he has not been associated with that website. It was another company, a business partner that bought the name and kept licensed the name from him, but he did not do any of the work since 1984. But he went off and spun off and continued making his own pickups. He passed away, unfortunately, in 2013, but his family, his wife, his daughter, they continue to make these pickups. So we're privileged to have some here. Now this is one of their Tele models, and do we remember what model it is? We're going to put it down below in the links, folks. We'll let you know exactly which of their Tele pickups, and of course we got the matching neck pickup to go with the bridge. So Bo, go ahead and snap that in. Yeah, throw it in the bridge. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have two different. Let's see what a Tele might sound like if you could have two bridge pickups. I would say let's start in the bridge.
Sure. And
then flip it to the neck for the second round, and let's see kind of what we get.
Test the waters.
Yes.
This is going to be in our neck position.
Let's go ahead and put it in the middle position. Let's play them together. Now while we're at it, go ahead and take the neck pickup out.
Sure.
And let's go back to the standard configuration.
Yeah. Awesome.
And now you got them, play them together. There you go.
Got that mixed combination.
How did that sound compared to just a minute ago when you had the two bridges?
The balance is a lot more in place. I also feel almost like a swept mid in it. You know,
Which way? With the standard Tele
with it
neck?
in the that would be with the bridge. The way you said
When you had two bridges?
two bridges when I had it in the middle, but whenever I had that up in the neck position, man, it really there's a tone that I've never heard before. It's a certain kind of warmth and clarity. But I when I'm playing this in the standard setup position in the middle, when I listen to that, and then I turn around and I listen to this back to back, the difference that I hear
He's got that grin. He's got that grin again.
It is. There's just a different kind of shape. There's a different body than you're used to hearing in it. And as players, we do know the neck positioning and the string height. All those things make a difference. But when they're all set up the same, it's really cool to hear. It's just a tone that you haven't quite heard before, so it's different.
And Bo made a very good point. One of the things we're careful to do is to make sure we got the same height between the pole pieces of the pickup and the strings, so we maintain even volumes, because that's what makes the difference, so we can be as, flat in comparison from one to the other, not all of a sudden one's in your face because it's so much closer to the strings. So we do measure that stuff before we do these pickups. And what I'd like to do also is let's just give the folks at home a chance to hear the Fender and the Bill Lawrence Wild pickups. So right now, let's go to just the bridge.
Okay.
You got the Bill Lawrence in the bridge position.
All right.
So what we're going to do is we're gonna have Bo play the same licks. Just this, you're listening to the Bill Lawrence Wild bridge. Then we're going to put the Fender Vintage 58 back in, and let's see what the difference is.
Cool. Let's try this one and put this back in the bridge.
Back to the Fender Vintage.
Yeah.
You're good.
We'll test the two.
You want to try those again? You're a little puzzled there.
Well, I would like to go back and just try that Bill Lawrence, because there's there's a difference in the. Let me see here.
Now, I'll tell you what I hear. For me, the Fender has a smoother, more even kind of overall tone, where the strings kind of blend more smoothly. Where the Bill Lawrence, I seem to hear each string a little bit more, especially the higher strings, kind of jump out on their own a little bit more individually. So that's, I don't know, what do you think?
Can hear a tonal difference for sure. I mean, again, if you're wanting that a little more jangly sound in your bridge, that might be something that you prefer. But this Bill Lawrence just had some more warmth and clarity to me than
I guess clarity is a good word that for the strings. But then again, sometimes you'd want a nice smooth rhythm tone, and you don't, maybe for individual picking, that if you're recording a track that you've got, that's what you want, is that individual string clarity. Put in this Bill Lawrence Wild pickup where you're doing rhythm and you want that smooth, even background tone. Yeah. Use the Fender. It's you can't go wrong, folks. The tones are great, and this is why we want you to hear these things and know the difference, between the two. Let's while we got the neck pickups here, why don't we do the same thing with the necks? Go ahead. This is the Fender Vintage 52.
Right, I'll put the 52, and you know what? You really do. You make a great point with that, because with rhythm guitar, sometimes you do want that. You want that ability to play in your bridge position there, and to have a little bit more warmth. Whereas if you don't want as much jangle. You might want to, the Bill Lawrence just had a little bit more warmth to the strumming feel of that too. So,
all right,
now we're back to the regular setup. Though,
well,
right?
But we're just going to focus on the neck now, just so folks now they can hear the difference between the Fender Vintage neck and the Wild neck. So let's go ahead and let's check out the neck tones.
We're going to give it a go on it. That's a Fender Vintage there.
Vintage 52.
This is going to be the Bill Wild in the neck position.
Little more subtle difference to me, I think. A little more presence maybe with the Bill Lawrence. Like I said, I like the laid back, cigar and brandy kind of tone that makes me think just kick back and just mellow out. That's it's a different kind of warmth with a little more, I don't know, presence would be. I hope you folks at home can hear the difference. We're playing, by the way, through a Mesa Boogie Express 550, all tube amp, just so you know where what's behind the tones, and through a Celestion Vintage 30 speaker with an SM57 mic to record it. So we're going to be using that setup for every one of these videos, so you can get get the same feel and the same tonal quality out of the amps. We're not going to change those. We're going to keep those constant. What we're going to change is the pickups, and we're going to be exploring some other pickups here shortly, and you'll want to join us for the next video because we've got some real interesting companies from across America. And I think we'll finish off. I guess we can let's try the what do we got? That's the whole Bill Lawrence combo there. Let's go ahead and put that in the middle position and finish off with a few bars, and let's see what that sounds like.
See what it sounds like.
Yeah, three great flavors of Tele tone. That's all I can say.
Very, very versatile. I love the pickups. I've never heard of Bill before, so the Bill Wild set was really cool to get to test. And that's, like I said, that's one of the cool things about having the availability to test different guitars and to go sit down. That's one of the reasons that I go and spend a lot of time at guitar shops and at different places, just testing tone. And a lot of the time, what's difficult though is that you have to go into a shop, and sometimes you're not testing it on your rig. So you might get a guitar, and then you get it home, and it might not have the exact setup that you were, hearing that sizzle or that magic that kind of brought you to it. So it's really cool to be able to just test out a few of these different pickups, because I've never heard of Bill Wild before, and I'm definitely impressed by the pickups. That's cool.
Well, one thing for you folks watching is like Bo said, you're going to go into a guitar shop. You might have one set of pickups in a G&L Tele that's got tens on it, different strings on it, different fretboard, and then the Fender vintage ones might be, in a Fender Tele, in one of their other flavor Teles. So you're not apples to apples. Here we got the same pickups, same strings, same guitar, same neck, same controls, same amp, same everything. So now you can now feel that, hear the difference, experience the difference, and you get to kind of hear that at home to decide, is it going to sound exactly, identically, perfectly the same if you put it into your Fender Tele at home? Not necessarily. It'll be pretty close. But the thing is, you get to hear the character of each pickup, and that it'll retain that character in your guitar. So we appreciate you being here for the Tone Experience at Guitar Tone Central, and join us in the next episode where we do some more exploring and hunt for some tonal gold.
Let's go a hunting.
Yeah, man.